So let me tell you what we already know from the Quran, okay? We know that Allah calls our souls out of our body, calls them back to Him at night, okay? Which means when we're sleeping.
Fatana sangat menyukai ilmu sains, sehingga dia menemukan sesuatu hal yang berhubungan dengan sains dalam Al-Qur'an. Fatana mencoba mendalami hal tersebut.
I'm gonna explain why you need to understand that time is linear. So in this universe, time is linear, okay? We can't see time, we just move through it, right? Time is just one line. Like for example, we're in a three-dimensional reality, right? This guy right here, he's in a two-dimensional reality. He can only move up or right, length and height, that's it. We have width in this three-dimensional reality. We can go forward and backward. This guy can't. This ain't no doodle bob, SpongeBob. So the same way we're looking at a two-dimensional reality, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the knower of all things, the knower of all dimensions, He can see time. Time is something that He can see it in our dimensions, right? Imagine almost like a hologram, like He just sees time. He sees everything.
Fatana juga menemukan sesuatu yang menurutnya unik dan masuk akal. Itu juga bisa dijelaskan secara sains.
Okay, are you guys ready for me to tell you my theory on what happens when we sleep? So let me tell you what we already know from the Quran, okay? So I was reading the Quran, and this is last night I was reading it, okay? And I came across this verse. It said, He is the one who calls back your souls by night and knows what you do by day, then revives you daily to complete your appointed term. To Him is your ultimate return, then He will inform you of what you used to do. So let's break that up. Calls back your souls by night. Okay, let's focus on that part. So what do we know? We know that Allah calls our souls out of our body, calls them back to Him at night, okay? Which means when we're sleeping. Then He revives us daily to complete our appointed term, which means our life, to complete our life. So we know that Allah takes our soul from when we go to sleep at night to the day. Our soul is with Allah, okay? Bear in mind that scientists still to this day don't understand dreams. They don't understand why we dream what we dream. There's all these theories on it, whatever. And they don't understand like what really happens other than our brainwaves slow down into alpha state, okay? So let's also remember what I made another video about before, about how it will ascend to Him in a day, the extent of which is 1,000 years of those which you can count. So Allah has made multiple different references. The word I was looking for was references of how a day with Him or a moment with Him is 1,000 to 50,000 years our time on this universe. Okay, so let me write that down. So think about it. If this whole thing is one day with Allah, that means that this is our life, because this is 1,000 to 50,000 years. Our life, I drew it right there, is this little itty bitty thing, okay? So that means when Allah calls our souls at night, we're where Allah's at, or somewhere where time is not the same as it is here on earth, right? So bear with. We also can never ever, no human on earth, never ever can remember what happened during this 8 hours, usually on average, that people sleep, 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, doesn't matter. We can never remember what happened during that time, right? Because our brains, our consciousness is turned off in this universe, right? But Allah knows, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grabs our souls out of our body to be with Him, where a place where time does not exist, okay? Our consciousness goes to a place where time does not exist, right? Because that's where Allah's at. And then doesn't that make you realize that when we sleep and when we wake up, from the time we go to sleep, from the time we wake up, it's almost as if our body feels like no time has passed. Other than the physical rejuvenation we get, the mental fog that goes away, our consciousness feels like no time passed. We wake up and we don't know how long we slept. You know the only way we know how long we slept? We check the clock. We check the clock, or pretend it's a nap during the day. A nap during the day, somebody comes by, mom, dad, whatever, roommate comes by. Oh, you were gone for like an hour. We don't know that. Oh, how long have I been asleep? Our consciousness cannot grasp time. Consciousness is beyond time. That's what Allah gave us, consciousness. He gave us soul. He takes our soul at night and recharges it. And then let me tell you what my theory is of how He recharges it, because we already know for a fact Allah takes our soul at night, right? That doesn't require any tasfir. When He takes our soul at night, just think about it. If one day with Allah is 1,050,000 years of our time, our soul gets snatched up, we can see our entire life. Remember the video I made about time being linear and how Allah can perceive time and how it just like, it could almost be like a hologram to Him? I don't know. This is just a theory. So follow me, follow me, follow me. That means when He snatches our soul and takes it, not snatches, it's supposed to be, it's Allah. He's graceful. He takes our soul and takes it with Him in the night, and then we're with our soul passes time. We can see our entire life when we're with Allah. Allah gives us the ability when we're asleep to see the trajectory of our entire life. So then what happens when we regain our consciousness? What happens? We gain a conscience. Are you feeling me? We gain a conscience, which comes in the signs of like, I know especially as Muslims, we get that sign, okay, maybe I should pray. Usually we just shut that little voice up, right? I'm not going to say everybody does, but I know there's not a lot of Muslims who follow the deen. No Muslim follows the deen 100%. You know what I'm saying? So there's Muslims where you'll get that feeling, right? You'll get that feeling where you need to do something to better yourself. Guess what I think that is? If you have seen that part of Interstellar, it's like this. It's you talking to yourself. That little voice is you when you're with Allah, because you can perceive time through Allah. Allah's giving you that power to perceive your time when He takes your soul, and yourself is talking to you, whatever point in time you are in, is trying to tell you, hey, do this, do that, like screaming at you. But guess what? You're not listening to it. So if you don't listen to it, the voice is just gonna get quieter and quieter. Or when your soul's with Allah, it just throws little random signs into your universe, hoping that you're gonna pick it up and change the trajectory of your life. But Allah puts the soul back into your body, erases your memory so that you don't remember anything. Whatever He does, I don't know. This is just a theory based off of what I read in the Quran. And then remember, at the ultimate return, He will inform you of what you used to do. Your whole life, from when you're asleep to when you're awake, whatever, He gives you back that memory. He gives back every single memory that He either took away or you don't remember. Okay? So I feel like this is another way Allah is helping us. When He takes our souls at night, He's trying to have us, our soul, look at our whole life, right? Look at our whole life and say, oh my God, she's going into this bad path. I'm gonna put a sign in for her right there, and I'm gonna really, really hope she pays attention to that sign, because I feel like I know myself, and if I saw that sign, I would change my life right there. So then He takes our soul, puts our soul back into our body, and we just always hope as Muslims that we can become better people and start following our deen better, and even non-Muslims, because one day, sometimes they do revert.